Um, Hello again. Today, I want to talk about something that I feel like we as a society have come to take part in less and less. We need to look up more often. What I mean by that is not in any metaphorical sense. I mean, literally, we need to look up more. The sky, the night sky, to be more specific. And I realized that in some places it's more difficult for you to observe the night sky more clearly because in a lot of places there are light pollution, especially if you live in an urban region. It is during night, it's filled. If you are especially in an apartment, if you are in the middle of a town, everyone will be switching their lights on, and because of that, the night sky won't be clearly visible. But even still, if you can, just go upstairs or like to your terrace or something, somewhere, or even from your own ground. You don't have to. It's better if you can go up to a vantage point uh, and observe the sky. But if you can't do that, if you don't have the facilities to do that, just step outside your house and just look up because if you look at the history of human beings, we were always fascinated with the sky. I kind of realized this after, I've just recently reviewed Project Hail, and I realized, you know, we were blessed with the vision through evolution, right? We are able to see uh, the sky and the night sky. We can see all of these beautiful celestial objects in the sky. Most prominently at night, we would see the moon and some planets as well of our own solar system. And apart from that, tiny twinkles of stars from distant galaxies, we can see them in the sky, constellations, and sometimes occasionally, if you're lucky, you can catch meteor showers as well, comets at some times. And, when you look up at the sky, I think it gives you a sense of, it's kind of humbling, I'd say, as a human, because, you know, throughout our lives, we face a lot of issues and a lot of struggles in our day to day lives. When you look up at the night sky, you kind of forget all of that because you realize, you're just another sentient piece of organic matter that's just floating through the sky. And the world is the universe is so much more vast than we can ever possibly imagine. We cannot really grasp how vast and diverse the universe is, and how many fascinating things are there in the sky. uh, you know just let alone all of these alien civilizations and alien tech. Set all of that aside, the things that we already know exist, like celestial objects, we don't even know the full extent of how some of these stuff work, right? Some of these events like supernovae, uh, I don't know much about it, but from the videos I've seen, sometimes we don't even know how some of this stuff fully works. We're still figuring out a lot of these things. And I feel like, you know, looking up at the sky and just observing it is just so, it gives you a sense of inner peace. And it's just so beautiful. I think more people should be doing this. I think, from my personal experience, me and my sister, both of us, we used to go upstairs. We we are thankful to have a place where there isn't much light pollution comparatively. It is better to observe stars and other celestial objects when there isn't, a bright full moon, because otherwise the light of the moon, I think, kind of um, it contributes to the light pollution, I'd say. But anyways, you will go upstairs and we would just sit there and just look at the sky together, and the different constellations and all of that. Sometimes too, we would use an app to track different constellations, as well as sometimes the International Space Station as well. And after lockdown and all of that, I think we've all resorted to a much more passive way of living things, and uh, we kind of forgotten uh, to appreciate, the nature that we live in a lot of times. Not just the sky too. Sometimes in the evenings, I'd say you can just spare some time to go outside and just appreciate the beauty of nature. Just maybe take a brisk walk, maybe just sit outside. Just feel the fresh breeze and just appreciate the beauty around you. Sometimes if you're living in a crowded urban region, maybe cycle around a bit, see the world, and just it makes a good difference, I'd say. So this just came across my mind as I was reading. I was as I was reviewing the book yesterday. I kind of thought about what I used to do when I was a child, but now as years pass is something that I've not really done. But truly, I think it's something that we need to do more, uh, as not just kids, as adults too. Just spare some little time during the night, just go outside and see the stars, because there's so much out there to explore. And I feel like with the recent Artemis mission as well, a lot of people are now getting excited for space exploration and stuff like that. And it's truly beautiful to see, because space is truly one of the most fascinating subjects that humans have ever pondered upon. It started out as, stars and all of that. It started out as a way of navigation, right? The pole star, sorry, is something that we use to, help us find out the directions. But then we started looking at the sky, we started figuring things out, and it's just there is so much out there that we don't know. And just it's just so beautiful. I don't know how to really put it into words. It's just an incoherent rambling, but yeah, um, that's all I had to say. We do need to look up more. Thank you.